Hi there, it's Nicole with Handmade Holiday 2016, and today I've got some felt plush ornaments showcasing the Simon Says Stamp plush dies. And these are so stinking cute. I love them. I've had some of these for a while. Some of them are fairly new. The reindeer and owl and the elephant and the fox, I believe, especially. But I've had some of them for a while and I've not done anything with them. And I thought, how cute would these be, not only tied onto a package with the little tag there, but that tag can easily just be ripped off and discarded. It's nothing special. And then the recipient can use this as an ornament from then on. If you make these from felt, they are going to just be an awesome lasting keepsake. And I just think they are so fun to create. Now, a lot of my projects for this series take about an hour or less to create. I would say probably total, you probably better give yourself 30 minutes to an hour to create one, just depending. I did it more kind of assembly line style, so I die cut all of the elements, kind of put them in little piles, and then I would work on them while I watched TV or did something else. So I would say from start to finish, the actual stitching and stuffing and embellishing, 30 minutes or so. So if you consider 30 minutes per the actual assembly of the ornament, these probably took 2.5 hours to create. I did not do them all at once. I actually spread them out over days because I just die cut all the elements, like I said, put them in little stacks, and as I had time or I was sitting down in the evening with the kids or we were watching a program or things like that, I would go ahead and stitch one and put it together. I am using the Tailored Expressions felt to create these. I love the colors of felt. They are incredible. I would suggest if you are going to be creating a lot of felt plushies like this, especially critters, get more than one set of the neutrals and the browns. I had to go ahead and go and order more. I actually was able to create all of these with just the rolls I had, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty on hand to create more because I've got some incredible ideas for you for Valentine's Day. So that's a whole nother story, and we'll get to that. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. In January, probably in preparation for Valentine's Day. One of the things to keep in mind when you're die cutting all of the components for these felt dies is you want them to be as cute on one side as they are on the front, or on the back side as they are on the front. So that means a lot of them, for example, I am showing all of the steps for the deer. I will not show all the steps for all of them simply because the video would go on forever and it's very similar. But that cream colored area, you need 2 of those. The body, you need 2 of those. The nose, you need 2. The antlers, you really need 2. The ears, I also did 2 of those. I did not on all of them, and I will kind of talk about that as I get to that. The little dots on his back side, and also his collar that I'm going to put the jingle bells on. So most of the components you're going to need at least 2 of. The only thing from the felt collections I did not use is the eyes. They are so small. I am sure I could have used them if I wanted to, but I really wanted to try to incorporate some other kind of embellishments, and the eyes are a great place to do that. So I went ahead and did not use the eye piece there. The color collections I am using from Tailored Expressions are the pinks, reds, neutrals, browns, and some of the greens. Now you want to stitch anything that goes on a side, so this cream area needs to be stitched on. You're going to want to do that before you stitch the whole thing together. Unless you just stitch around that piece and glue it in place, which you totally could do, but I went ahead and stitched it just, going all the way around. I'm doing a back stitch. I'll show you how I stitch it together because the back stitch doesn't really work when you're stitching the two sides together. So I'll show that in a second, but I did a back stitch here. I'm just going to kind of thread it through the back part there to finish it off, and I'm going to do that for both sides. Now, originally I thought instead of using a dimensional embellishment, I would just do a little French knot for the eyes, and so I went ahead and did that. I'm going to trim that off later. I didn't feel like it emphasized the eye enough for whatever reason. It probably is fine, but I really wanted to use doodlebug sprinkles instead. Now I'm using a little hot glue to hold my ears in place. You can see I have gone around every other, coming up and going down all the way around the deer, gluing those ears in place, gluing the little pink inside of the ear in place on each of these, just to kind of keep it secure. And then I'm going to go ahead and stitch up a little bit more, again, every other space. Once I have just a small opening left, I'm going to be ready to stuff my little felt plush ornament. And I'm just kind of using my finger. I tried to use a stylus and that was too skinny. I would really suggest using, I think I ended up using my bone folder finally. I really would caution against using scissors. I've used the tip of my scissors before to stuff things and I have poked holes through them. And nothing is more disappointing than taking all the time to die cut and stitch and create and finding out or going ahead and poking a hole in your project. It's kind of disappointing. So once I get close there, I've got him stuffed. You do not want to overstuff because it's definitely going to squish out and it doesn't look very good. I'm going to go ahead and stitch that all the rest of the way. Again, I've only gone every other, which isn't really a very good look. But once you get to the end and you've got it all stitched shut at least, then you simply go back the opposite way, and you can see here it's finished, and stitch it all shut. So there, it's completely stitched. It looks nice and finished. I know there's lots of different ways. The blanket stitch, I've tried that before and I think it's cute as well. This is probably the easiest in my opinion, simply because it's not very tricky. It's fairly easy to do. I think anyone can do it. And it's a little bit quicker than the blanket stitch. If you're not real familiar with a lot of stitches, this is going to be the one I would suggest you start with. I have got his cute little collar here. Also, I need to glue his ears in place. So what I'm going to do is put a little hot glue, stick that on one side. I can flip him over, make sure I got my antlers going the same way, put a little glue there. And then I'm just going to glue these two together. Nice small amount of hot glue. There might be a few hot glue strings still in my photos. I really tried to get rid of all the hot glue, but sometimes that can be a little tricky. But you can see now both sides are exactly the same, which I think are so cute. I am putting little dabs of glue here on his hindquarters and adding, I think, just 3 of the little cream dots. I believe it die cuts 4, but I went ahead and just die cut 3. For the deer itself, I did use only the die cut components from this set. So nothing extra as far as from different plush die sets. On some of the others, I did combine a few other things, and I will talk about that as I kind of get to them or show the finished photos of those particular pieces. But I tried to just put tiny little dabs of glue. It helps if your hot glue gun is really nice and hot. The hotter the glue, the easier it's going to squirt out and the easier time you will have working with it, I think. I stitched the collar through the plushie on both sides, and then I threaded through some jingle bells that are going to be there. And here I'm just snipping off that eye that I did because I decided I didn't like that. And I'm going to put a little hot glue there and take those black doodlebug sprinkles, and I'm going to just grab my craft knife, pick one of those up. I probably should have had that before I put my glue on my project, but I didn't. And I think that just really shows off the eye area on the deer. I liked it a lot better. So don't be afraid to change things up if you want to. Here I've got my eye already on my craft knife. And then I can pop that right on the hot glue because it does dry pretty quickly. Scrape off a little bit of that excess little glue strings here and there. Now to make this cute little guy an ornament, I have got a big needle threaded with some baker's twine that I'm going to thread through the top of my little plush ornament. And then I'll show you how I finish that near the end of the video. For the owl, this is one of them that I actually combined an image from something else. And I have got these darling from the Plush Carrot Bunny back from a springtime release. I took the greenery and die cut 2 of those pieces. They're pretty teeny tiny from some green felt, glued those in place, and then I used some red pearl gems to look like holly, and that dresses up that cute little plush owl and really gives him that holiday look. He could really be used for any time, but with the color choices and then you put a little group of holly on him, I think that just really makes him perfect for Christmas. So there is the little owl, so cute. The fox, he actually does not come with that little scarf. The scarf is from another set, the Plush Happy Bear, which I did create him too. You can kind of see him off to the left. But I decided both of them needed that darling little scarf around their necks. They are not necessarily holiday themed plushes. They can be used for lots of things, but with the addition of a little scarf, I think it really gives them that nice winter feel. And again, the color choices definitely help with that as well. Gluing all those little pieces together for him, I think he is a darling. So cute. And I am really just going to take that long piece, and to make it even look more like a scarf, I'm just going to snip some little sections there on each side, fold it over the scarf piece. I did stitch it in place with just a little cross stitch there, glue it on the front, flip him over because again, this gives that finished look. Plus he has a little heart on his behind, which I think is kind of fun. The heart is from the owl set. And glue that in place to really finish him off. I just love him. He's probably one of my favorites. So once I have him all finished up here, here's a look at the elephant. I gave him a little holly berry holding in his trunk. And then I have the teddy bear as well. I'm going to take the little tag from the Bundle of Stitched Shapes die collection. And then I have got a couple of greetings from 2 different Simon Says stamp sets. One says from Santa, which I'm going to stamp in Schoolhouse Red on each of these tags. I did not go crazy with these tags. The whole reason for these is simply for gift-giving purposes. That way they're easy to remove, you know, just snip through them, discard those, and then the recipient is left with these cute felt plush ornaments. So again, nothing crazy here. I did do all the red, and then I realized I forgot to stamp the 2, which I'm going to stamp with green apple ink, and that's from one of the other stamp sets. Look through your stamp sets, see what you have as far as to and from. You will have lots of different options. If you don't have this particular die set, the Lawn Fawn Tiny Tags stamp set is one of my absolute favorites. It would be a great one for creating little tags to attach to these felt ornaments. There are lots of other felt ornaments out there that you could create. Memory Box has a lot of incredible ones as well as Simon Says Stamp has some other really fun ones. They've got some bunnies and things that I think would be cute dressed up for holiday season. Definitely don't have to be for like Easter or anything like that. Try to think outside the box and mix and match your different felt sets together. Once I thread through that tag on each of the baker's twine that I have put through the top of the felt ornament, I'm just going to knot the top, and that is really just going to finish it off. It's ready to be tied to a gift package. I'll just do that for each one of my little ornaments. I've got 5 of them here. You could use anything kind of thin or small. You do not have to use baker's twine. Even embroidery floss or a thin string would work. I like this red and white baker's twine just for the Christmas feel. Here's the photo of the back side of the couple of the animals where I put little hearts because I think that's kind of fun. Thanks for joining me today for these felt plush ornaments showcasing Simon Says stamp dies. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos showcasing my Handmade Holiday 2016 projects that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.